Hi guys, welcome to this second video in our Salesly tutorials. I am, of course, Richard Butler, Video Community Manager here at PitchGround. Now, what I want to show you is some of the things that you can do based in the dashboard, because we're also going to show you a tutorial on how to use the iPhone app and what it actually does. But for now, let's concentrate on what you can do once you're inside your dashboard. Some of the things, for example, like roster plans and attendance and expenses, etc., we need to have users set up. So I want to take everything step by step as I always do. So let's have a look at my tasks here. When I click on my tasks, I see any tasks that I have outstanding and I can add a task here. So I can assign it to others or I can assign it to me. So the task title might be weekly call. The description would be ring all customers. If I wanted, I could attach a file here and I can select a due date. So this is due on the 28th of February. I can select a time and now I can select a priority for that task, either high or low. I click on add and that task is then added. Now, every time I create a task, I have to accept it here. I can go in and look at any task. I can mark it as complete, or I can see that it's partially complete. So if I mark that as complete, are you sure is this task complete? I say yes, and that is now marked as complete. If I have a look at here, I can see the view task coverage. It's 100% complete, or it's been accepted. Now, as the super admin, I can see any tasks that are assigned to me. I can see the archived tasks as well. If I am submitting expenses, I can click on my expenses. I can see any claims here if any of the reps have actually logged into the system using their account, and I'll create a sub account, and if they've actually entered in an expense. I can go into my claims and I can add a new claim. So for example, I can say food. I can put in a date here. I can say yesterday I had something to eat. I can put in an amount and I'll say 30 euros. An event if I wanted, client meeting. And I can say met with Judith and Aaron. Okay, I could attach a receipt and I click on add, and this comes up as pending by Richard. So when I go into claims here, I can see it and I can decline it or I can accept it. So I'm going to accept this and it says your claims approved successfully. Remember that once you accept the claim, it has to be accepted again by the second level claim person. So let me just accept this again, and pending reimbursement by Richard. And it said pending reimbursement by Richard. So remember that when I showed you in the setup video, you could set it so that claims had to be accepted by two people. So that's why that comes up here. Now, if I just move myself over here, I can go to reports here, and under reports, I can take a customer report and I could see visit reports if they have been logged by the sales rep. But here what I want to do is go into call logs and I can actually see all of the calls that have been logged. So Richard has logged 2 calls there. And if I went in, I could then have a look here at my customers and I could verify that these calls had been logged. So here you can see that I logged the call on the 22nd at 2:47 p.m. Now, if I go back to reports here, I can go to customers added, for example, and I can see how many customers have been added. If I just move myself up here, maybe how many customers have been added by each rep. I can see customer by status. Okay, so we have 2 warm customers. I can see customers by stage. Okay, 2 of them are at the opportunity stage here. I can run an expense report. Expenses by team, and it says Richard is the only team member and their expenses are 30, and of course I can change the dates here, and then I can go to opportunities report. Okay, and Richard is the one who is generating the most opportunities here because Richard is the only user. So if I go into integrations, you'll see that some of the integrations have been set up here. If I go into Customerly, it would ask me for my API token. So what I would go and do is I would go to Customerly, I would grab the API token and I would post it in here. I can see any active ones, I can see any APIs that I may have actually set up here. I can see any active integrations that I've done, and if I clicked on API, it shows me any APIs that I've actually set up. Now remember that this is just on the user. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a sub-user, which is going to be a sales rep, so you can actually see what the sales reps would see. And then in further videos, we'll see what they'll actually see on the mobile app.